G'day folks. Before I have a bit of a tidy up and put some stuff out in the carport, I just thought I'd show you some goodies that I found at the junkyard today. There's a few more over there, some old radio equipment. A lot of it's been heavily hacked and modified. Obviously the previous owner was a big ham radio enthusiast or something like that. They've just been just messing around with it and modifying things, but I found this little chime or maybe a signal bell or something. Very old, no markings on it. Looks factory made though. It's all the brass componentry and the coils and things, it's all factory made. A little striker there. So the spring's popped down underneath the end of that screw, but it does work. I haven't put power to it, but it mechanically works. The wire on the coil's just there. It's still intact, I can fix it. But yeah, it just looks like it's designed to hang on the wall like that. That was in the mix. I have no idea what this is. It almost looks like it's leaking something out of there. It's a detector unit of some description. There is a plate on it. It's got two windows. I'm guessing it's either full of some kind of liquid or probably inert gas. Yeah, it's a IRD, possibly infrared detector, don't know. Detector unit serial number 2214, catalogue number RD2210, made in England. I'm guessing it's either high-end radio transmitter or maybe even radar. I don't know for sure. It's a nice 240 volt or 50 hertz, 200 to 240 volt Smith's electric clock, possibly 60s, maybe even 50s era. I'm not sure if the lead's original. It's a PVC lead, unlike the old rubberized kind. I'd say 60s. It's got that green plastic. I'm not sure what that kind of plastic that is, but it looks familiar for everything from the 60s seem to have it on it. I'll definitely be keeping that. Clean that up, keep that one. That's a nice clock. There's a variable power supply. It goes up to a maximum of 10 volts, but it's like 0.5 amp. So it's a tiny little transformer and variac. An old army signalling lamp, short range signalling projector Mark II by Stromberg Carlson. Yeah, it has been hacked up inside. You can see they've soldered a bulb holder and things in there. I think it's just designed to plug in as like a night light or something. It would make an awesome desk lamp if I put a modern small holder in there. It's alloy housing with the usual olive drab green, and it's got a rangefinder on it. If you look down it, you can see the reticle crosshair. That's just so that if you're trying to signal for somebody, you look down the little sight, and that way you know you're signaling straight to them, because it does have a like a parabolic mirror in the back there. So it's a very directed beam of light, and you'd signal in Morse code. Of course there's no key or anything for it, it's just that. Looks like someone just set it up as a work light or something like that. I'm missing the mount for it. I'm guessing there'd be a tripod or a small pedestal mount for it. Other army stuff. There's the remains of a AWA, Amalgamated Wireless Australia, wireless set FS6 Mark II. This is about all that's left of it. That didn't come out of it, they were just sitting in the bin. There's a 1500 volt DC, like a snubber cap or something like that. Most of it's missing. I haven't taken this front panel off, but they've pinched all the tubes and the mounts for them, the bases. They're all gone. The Morse key is still there, which is nice. I'm keeping that. A lot of this stuff's going to just get parted out. I'll keep the front panel. Actually, I might keep this whole box unit. It's got a nice, heavily varnished and assembled wooden case. I'll keep this unit together, but there's a lot of other junk here which is heavily modified and hacked and chopped and just been used for specific purposes. But the Morse key there is good. It's even got a Department of Defence stamp on it. That's kind of neat. But the mechanical controls all seem to be in there. Aerial attachment. There was no aerials. I don't know what would be in here. Probably a speaker, aerial wiring, spools, various other stuff like that. But most of it seems to be in there. It's a lock. Fine tune, I think. Yeah, there we go. It's a field radio, essentially. Yeah, tune aerial. What's this? Megacycles. Megahertz, in other words. So many megahertz, 4.5, 4.5, 4.8. Yeah. High frequency radio. Yeah. Ammeter high frequency, 0.4 to 1 amp. It's a nice instrument. Aerial taps up to 12, 13 taps, no, 12 taps. Yeah, it's pretty rough. A lot of this stuff's very rough. There's an old Astor transistor radio, AM. That'll be worth cleaning up. Assuming it's all inside there, you can see where they've attached to the old battery holder. That'd clean up nicely. That's not so much radio equipment. That looks like a thermometer or something. It's got a Borden tube in there. And yeah, what looks like there's a little stylus there and some bottles of ink. It must act like a fountain pen. You can see some marks on that chart there. I'll do a separate video on this one. It's made in Germany. There's a sticker on it there, or label on it there. Rather unusual. I'm guessing it's like the equivalent of a home weather station because the chart has degrees and all that sort of stuff on it. There's an old scope which has also been fairly well hacked up and modified. It's missing some of the tubes. Not too sure what that is. Gently. Phillips. Yeah. 469. Yeah. Some interesting gear in here. But again, underneath there's a modern potentiometer chopped into there. There's something else in there. They've had a bit of a go at it. But I've got it mainly because of all these switches and things and the little cathode ray tube. Someone spent a bit of time on it. Nice bit of kit, but it's a shame all this stuff's been hacked up. I'm guessing they sold all the decent stuff. This is just the dregs that got thrown out. Same with what's left of this. It's a nice front panel. It's the main reason I grabbed it, because of the front panel. Everything else has been chopped, removed and modified. Like, it's been modified into something else. They've just got specific modern components installed and wired in. It's just modded for one specific purpose in the hobby shop. Sort of the kind of thing I do. Don't know if you can read that. It's an old Ultronics receipt. 90s, 94 maybe. Some diagrams and things. That was inside here. Again, used to be a milliamp meter, but they've scrubbed the faceplate and put their own as volts and ohms. And they've got a pass-through coax connector there, which might be for antenna gain and signal strength or something like that. But again, most of this stuff's been so heavily modified, it's really not much use to me apart from parts, which is good because there are some interesting bits in here. I like the meter, especially that, yeah. I don't know what it used to go up to in milliamps because they've scrubbed the faceplate clean, but it's all there. And again, there's something else there. Nonius Holland. Yeah, some kind of industrial controller maybe. That doesn't appear to have been opened. It should be complete. But anyway, I've got to clean up in here. There's too much junk around. I'll put some of this stuff out in the carport for now. Anything that's obviously stripped or junky like this, I'll pull the faceplate off and keep it as a display item, and the rest of it can go in the bin because it's really been damaged, corroded, hacked up, and in this case it looks like possums and things were living in the underside of it, so it's a mess and it smells horrible. It can't stay in here. But that's kind of interesting. I don't know what that is. I think it's got degrees Celsius or degrees of some kind on the paper chart. So yeah. Anyway, I'll have a play around with these later. Don't know what I'd use that for. Tiny little power supply. Oh look, formatting's done. Last disk. Unfortunately that server died, so that's the only one I've got left, unfortunately. All those hard drives are done. Anyway, enough rambling. This is all about old technology, not new technology. Thanks for watching.